have Jimmy Heath on the line. Jimmy, welcome to WPFW.
Hey, is this Rusty Hassan I'm speaking to?
It sure is, Jimmy. It's great to hear your voice, and again, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much, brother.
Boy, so you got a big celebration this Sunday, celebrating your 90th at the Kennedy Center, and it's quite a lineup. I heard Herbie Hancock's going to be there along with Stanley Cowell, so you got a couple of great pianists.
Yes, true. And I have one in my band. Jeb Patton.
Jeb Patton, okay, sure, Jeb. I know Jeb. I met Jeb. In fact, I have Endurance in the lineup of things to play tonight.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be getting to Jeb also. So who else will be on the stage with you on Sunday at the Kennedy Center Concert Hall?
Well, the big band. My big band was Antonio Hart and Mark Gross and Bobby Lavelle and Gary Smolian and a cat named Mike Lee on the other tenor. Bobby Lavelle's a tenor player, of course. And, I have David Wong on the bass and a very young man on the drums named Evan Sherman. Because Tootie is playing with the small group.
Okay.
With Herbie and John Lee and Terrell Stafford. And a young lady that plays very good saxophone. Her name is Sherelle Cassidy, and I call her Bopalong Cassidy.
Well, okay, absolutely.
And then the trumpets are terrific in the section, too. Frank Green, and Greg Gisbert, and Mike Mossman, and a young man named Freddie Hendricks, who's killer. So we got trombones, we got the whole big band sound, Steve Davis, the trombone, and Jason Jackson, and it's going to be great, man. I mean, this band I've had for quite a few years. We've recorded.
Mm-hmm. I have Turn Up the Heath. I have Big P. I got that in the CD set up right now to play when we're finished talking. So we'll hear from the big band, and then we'll hear from Endurance, and then we'll go back a few years after we get finished talking.
So I didn't mention my vocalist.
Oh no, you didn't. So
Roberta Gambarini.
Roberta's going to be with you. Awesome. Okay.
Oh yeah, we have a record out called Connecting Spirits.
Okay.
With my son Mtume, who incidentally is going to be there.
Wow, boy, this is
speaking.
Really, mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a celebration, man.
Absolutely. So take us back to you growing up in Philadelphia and what that was like with the musical household that you grew up in.
Well, my father played the clarinet when he took it out of the pawn shop on the weekends, because he was an auto mechanic to take care of the family. My mother sang in church choir, so that was my surroundings. My sister tried to play the piano, but she didn't make it. She was attracted to boys.
Okay.
And she was the oldest. Percy was next.
Mm-hmm.
The bassist from the Modern Jazz Quartet, who's been about 35 or 40 years with that wonderful group.
Sure.
And then here comes Tootie, my younger brother, and he's still around. So, it was like that. And I have my autobiography out called I Walk with Giants.
In fact, that autobiography got an award from the Jazz Journalists Association a few years ago.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
Right. I walk with giants. And, the giants who I walk with have interviews in that book. Dizzy, Miles, Coltrane, and all of the cats, Brubeck, and a lot of people in my book. So I've been on the scene a long time. But being a little guy, you get passed by.
Yeah. Well, you're certainly not being passed by this Sunday, nor were you this past weekend up in New York at the Lincoln Center.
Yeah, we had 2 days there, and my friend Sonny Rollins came, and Clyde Hampton, and Paquito de Rivera, and John Faddis, and oh man, it was a celebration, and it's ongoing.
Yes. You have a story about how with your childhood friend coming up, John Coltrane looking at Charlie Parker when Bird played in Philadelphia. Tell us about that.
Well, Charlie Parker was playing at the Downbeat Club, and he borrowed my saxophone every night. And I would take it home, and he'd leave his mouthpiece on. He was commuting back to New York, because I lived in Philly. And, and Coltrane was in my band at that time, and Benny Golson, Johnny Coles, and Nelson Boyd. So a lot of us, I had to feed a band into Dizzy's band, because all of us got with Dizzy. But that picture is a indication of the real man, Charlie Parker, not the one that Steve McQueen put in the movie.
Sure,
as a womanizer and a drug addict alone. But he was a good guy, and a kid had gotten the legs amputated by a streetcar.
Wow,
okay. And I did this benefit concert. I said, Bird, would you come and play? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was after he finished the club.
Right.
It was on another day, and he did it. He came and played with us. And the picture is so captivating because Coltrane is smoking a cigarette and looking at Bird and the cigarette in his hand, and his mouth is wide open. Because I always had to tell my students, see? I say, look,
right.
there's people playing saxophone good before Coltrane. Come on.
Absolutely. No, I was born...
Bird. I was the king at that time of the alto, and me and Train both were playing altos at the time.
I was born on the day Charlie Parker recorded Now's the Time and Coco and Meandering and Billy's Bounce. That was the day I came into the world, so that's how I identify myself, and you were already playing, and so I guess I'm not so old.
Well, you're getting there if you stick around.
I guess so.
Otherwise, I'll see you later.
Boy.
It's always better to be seen than viewed.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So, boy, now you recount a lot of this stuff in your autobiography, but I guess for folks listening tonight, getting new to your music, tell us a little bit as you're coming up and some of the early recordings, the compositions that you were doing, and how you got recognized and sidetracked.
Well, I was in a dance band out in Nebraska when I got out of high school. And, when Percy came home, he was a Tuskegee Airman, second lieutenant. When he came home, he said, I met Dizzy. Quit that band and come back to Philly. And I quit this band because I thought he knew Dizzy. Come to find out, I got in Dizzy's band before he did because Dizzy only knew him as lieutenant.
Okay.
Didn't know him as Percy.
Boy. Boy, so that got you on the roll.
Oh, yeah. Well, Miles, I played with Miles, Gil Evans, a lot of people, man. Art Farmer, I think Dizzy is my main mentor, though. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I learned so much from him.
Okay. And then, you've been married to Mona for about, almost 50 years now? How long?
Oh, 56. Going to 57
wow.
in February.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful relationship. That's the other thing, so that's I'm looking forward to seeing you both on Sunday.
Well, we'll be there.
This is really exciting,
God willing, we'll be there, brother.
I'm going to remind the listeners that we're in our fundraiser and we're looking for pledges online at WPFWFM.org while we're talking with Jimmy Heath. This is Thursday Night Jazz. I'm Rusty Hassan, and I'm thrilled to be talking to Jimmy Heath, who's 90 years young. He just turned that earlier this week, and the big celebration is Sunday, and it's at the Kennedy Center Concert Hall, and tickets are available, and it's going to be a sellout, I'm sure, with all the artists that you have with you. It's really...
Yeah, Herbie and I worked together way back with Donald Byrd, and then Herbie got with Miles, but he also recorded with me, too. On a couple of my dates, record dates.
Okay.
So he agreed to come, and that's nice.
Oh, that really is, and that.
And we're connected with the Thelonious Monk Institute together. So.
Okay. You did a long stint as an educator at Queens College. Tell us about that experience and how that came about.
Well, a friend of mine that is still there, and one who passed, a trumpet player, Jewish cat, a friend of mine named Brosky, he got me over at Queens College. He and the symphony conductor Maurice Perez. And, I stayed over for 11 years as a professor to start this program to really keep rolling. And it's ongoing, and when I retired after teaching Antonio Hart,
okay,
he's now the saxophone professor, and he's been there 16 years. And I also, when I left, I got Mike Mossman, who's in the band, coming down. And he's been there 17 years or something like that. So, it's a matter of a continuum of this music. It's ongoing forever. It's never going anywhere, but it's going to stay here forever. When they told me when I was young that jazz is dead,
right?
I said, where?
And that is circulating again because jazz and European classical music sales, the online sales and CD sales or whatever are much lower, minuscule compared to pop music.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of people still love jazz.
Oh, absolutely. No.
And all of the college are teaching that.
And the musicians are coming through. Right. No, the musicians.
It's about 4 or 5 guys in the band that I'm bringing down that are professors in college. No, universities.
I've been teaching jazz history courses for about 30 years now.
I've been knowing you about 40.
Yes, absolutely. I put on Facebook that picture of all of us after the crab feast. You and Percy came over, and Sandy's dad, my wife's dad, was there. So
yeah.
So it was got an incredible response to that. It's been a long time.
Friends for a long time.
No, absolutely. And looking forward. I've seen Stanley Cowell a couple of times when he's been playing up in Baltimore, and he's been back on the scene now. So it's good to see him.
Well, I just played in Rehoboth Beach.
Okay.
With my big band about 3 or 4 weeks ago. 15th of October it was. And that was nice too, man. The big band is what, but here it's big band, small band, vocalists and everything. The whole works. It's a show.
And you're going to, of course, play a lot of your original compositions, which is a major aspect of your music. I mean, putting original material into this music and not just playing the old standards has been important.
No, I was very fortunate enough to have a lot of my compositions. I got about 125 or 30. But a lot of them have become jazz standards. Miles recorded them. Ahmed Jamal, Cannonball. A lot of people recorded my songs. And Ray Charles and a lot of people. So, that's a feather in my cap.
Absolutely. And was it about the royalties also?
Oh, yeah. I collect royalties for my melodies, please. I ain't tease. That's not a tease. That's for real, brother.
So, what are your plans after the big gala on Sunday at the Kennedy Center? What comes up next?
Well, I have to go to Monk Institute out in UCLA and teach for a week, and come back through Tucson. They're gonna name Jimmy Heath Day in Tucson, Arizona. I'm gonna play with some young people out there, and then I'm coming back to New York and play.
Okay.
With the NEA Jazz Masters gig.
Excellent.
Jimmy Cobb, George Coleman, Barry Harris,
Oh, wow, boy.
Yeah.
And when is that going to be?
That's the 18th of
18th of November?
November, yes.
Okay.
At Flushing Town Hall in New York.
Oh, what a lineup. That's really awesome.
Jimmy Owens also playing trumpet.
Okay. Yeah, there's the cliche about ain't but a few of us left is actually belied by how many of us are up with you in terms of you and Benny Golson and just really some great players.
Well, Benny Golson and Curtis Fuller and 87, and Sonny Rollins, he's 87.
Right.
I just got him by 3 years. I was born the year that Miles and Coltrane and Ray Brown.
Right, okay.
That's 1926.
Wow. Well, Jimmy, I really appreciate you calling in. And again, Sunday evening at 8 o'clock in the concert hall. It's going to be the big band, special guests. Herbie Hancock will be there, Stanley Cowell and Tume, Roberta Gambarini. And I got Turn Up the Heath queued up with Big P. Is that, tell us about who is...
Well, that's my brother, Percy.
Sure, okay.
I wrote this one for him.
Sure. Well, I'm going to follow that up with something with Percy on it then.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So we will see you Sunday night. And again, thanks for this great interview. I really appreciate that you taking the time to call in, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Well, I'm looking forward to being in D.C. on Sunday, and I hope everybody will come in, because it's a variety of music that we play.
Absolutely. And again, happy birthday. It's great.
Thank you so much.
Okay. See you
Rusty.
Sunday.